Hey guys, our Decline here, average picker. So it's only 2 a.m. and I thought I would do a pick for Helpful Lock Picker's 15,000 subscriber giveaway. So first off, kudos to you, Helpful Lock Picker, and congratulations. 15,000 is quite an accomplishment, especially in the world of lock sport. I know a lot of us get hung up in like the 200s and we just don't seem to go anywhere. So yeah, breaking through all of those barriers to hit 15, quite the accomplishment, man. I've often told people that's the channel, and everybody watching this knows this channel probably, but that is probably the best channel right now on YouTube if what you need is just good straight tutorials. He does a really good job with it, gets into detail, goes slow enough that if you're starting out you can keep up real well with it and everything. And so what we're going to be picking for his 15,000 subscriber giveaway is this Emtek by Asa Abloy. And I wanted to pick this one for a couple reasons. One, I only picked it one time. I ordered it fairly recently and was very disappointed in it. And I'm curious to see what's going on inside it. The other reasons, though, are it's quite a chunky lock, but that's one of the things, you know, lock picking teaches you, to just kind of ignore a lot of stuff about the lock. All we're interested in is the core, and in this case, if we look at the key, yep, it's a pretty humble lock actually in there. And the other reason is because, especially when you're starting out lock picking, here in the States particularly, I would say, Asa Abloy, it's a name you kind of hear about and run across, but it carries this kind of mystique with it. I think I just overset too. And you know, they're associated with these like very high security locks. I think when you're first starting out, anyway. And that's not the case with all of them. You know, they own a lot of companies, or they work with a lot of companies, I don't know, licensed through. And not all Asa Abloy locks are the same. And it would have been really nice to have said that and had the lock pop open at that moment. As it is, we're going to do a little reset there. This Attila, I'm using an Attila, and I will confess it is too big for what we're trying to do with it. But it still works, and we're in anyway. I was not too worried about it, but if we had used something, maybe even a Tron, or just something a little bit thinner, we would have gotten in there probably even quicker, because that Attila will overset that second pin if you're not careful. I think it's the second one, maybe the first one that's oversetting. Not the best at counting pins. Yeah, I should have probably loosened some of this. You know what? We're going to lock it up because we've got the key. There we go. I suspect we're going to get into this and find it's been worked on. Hope it being so long doesn't throw too much off, but let's see. Oh yeah. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pins, but look at that. Pinned up, we have chambers for 7. So yeah, this is not stock, not by any means. And now I want to find a longer Emtek key. I'm not going to be surprised too if we dump some wafers in this thing. Yeah, you know what? I was kind of wondering right before the video, I lined the key up across the top of the cylinder, and the key did not seem to reach you can see, well, maybe should we flip the camera, but the key did not seem to reach all the way down here to what seemed like another hole. It seems, going by this little piece up here, that it was drilled for holes all the way to the threading. And that does seem to be the case. Not pulling out any wafers yet though, nothing surprising. All standard pins. I don't know what these Emteks are actually supposed to have in them. If you happen to know, if it's, I don't know, maybe they had some kind of Emtek special spools or something. Yeah, let me know in the comments. I mean, we know we're missing pins. Maybe we've got also wrong pins. So here's a question. Are there actually, no, that we would have. Yep. Man, that sucks. Let's just dump the springs out. Nothing going on crazy with those. Just 5 copper springs. Or copper in color. But anyway, we will flip the camera around and take a look at these standard pins in this Emtek ASA abloy. That was disappointing. I knew I was going to be disappointed, but I'm a little more disappointed than I was expecting. So yeah, there we go. There's our core. Good for a whopping 7 pins. And there's our 5 that were in there, all standards. And we can see if we slide the key in, we're not reaching anywhere near even that 6th one. Now these are both Emtek keys. So I don't, you know, maybe, no, that wouldn't make sense. Yeah, they're Emtek keys, but they're definitely not going all the way in. And again, these are all just standard pins. There's really nothing to see here. Though I will point out, I think with these standard pins, when you get these kind of locks, I don't know if you can see it, it's right about there. You can actually see the wear and tear on them a lot of times from the shear line. And if you have if you have a lock like this, you can flip those pins around and it'll give you a little bit of a different feel, because that is worn enough that it kind of wants to fall into place. I ran into that on a couple Everests. So I don't know if you can see, so like the line on this one looks like it's sitting right about there where I'm tweezing. It can be really hard to see, but if you get up and look at them, you can see how they're worn a little bit more in certain places. And you give them a little flip around and it kind of changes the feel of the lock a little bit. Can affect the binding order and stuff too sometimes. So yeah, there we go. The disappointing ASA Abloy Emtek from eBay. I don't know how much I spent on this. It wasn't too much. I don't think so. I hope not. Anyway, there we go, and congratulations again, helpful lock picker. Yeah, so I discovered you unfortunately a little bit late. Not too bad. I mean, I watched a lot of your videos when I started out, but I think I was just past the cusp probably of needing a lot of that information you were doing in some of them. So it kind of came just on the tail end of the nick of time, I guess is the way to say it. But yeah, And you're also one reason I don't do tutorials really. I will do rambling advices and things because there's just, I realized early on if I was going to start doing videos, I wasn't going to be able to match your little walkthroughs and everything that you do. So yeah, anyway, there we go. Congrats again, and you guys have a good night. I'm going to get to bed before 3:30. Later.